Good evening. Thank you for being here this evening. My name is Paul Boelkins, one of the band directors here at Forest Hills Eastern, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you today the Forest Hills Eastern Middle School 7th grade band. We'll be opening the performance with Boelkins Victorious. I need to introduce a couple of high school students who are joining us in this evening's performance. Joining us on the tuba in the back row for both the 7th grade and 8th grade band performances is Ben Gates. And we have Adam Rhodes and Tyler Stevens helping out on caution for just this number, the two British folk songs. Okay, I didn't want to do this, but I promised the kids I would. You may have noticed that there's a jar of Jif center stage. And through the years, occasionally on like a half day when you have a short hour and things like that, it's been kind of a seventh grade band thing where we occasionally will make a phone call. We've called Ken's Steakhouse Dressing. We called the Starburst people, the Pringles people, and we asked them things like, hey, is there a way we get the salt put on the other side of the Pringles? Or do you take suggestions for flavors of gel and things like that? So last week's phone call was supposed to be it was the quilted northern tissue people. Well, and sadly, we came up with a bunch of questions to ask the people at Quilted Northern. I won't get into those there because we have some very creative seventh graders, and I tend to go along with them. And so we called the Northern people, and sadly, they only had a number that you could leave a name, a number, and they'll call you back. Okay, so we said, but our second choice of people to call that day was the people at Jif. So we called the people at Jif and asked them questions about toilet paper. And Claudia in Ohio was a really, really good sport. And she was able to take those questions and kind of steer them towards the peanut butter realm. And we promised Claudia that we would dedicate a song to her today. So that's why there's Jif on our stage, and Claudia, we did you a solid tonight. So we hope you enjoy for Claudia, music from The Mandalorian. This is our eighth grade band. It's 12 of the nicest people in our school. I enjoy and love fourth hour every day. Thanks for your hard work. And you're going to get to hear a lot more of them because they will be playing the first four of high school band songs with the high school band now. So Wind Ensemble, if you'll head up right now, we're gonna get, this will be moments we're going to get them situated, we're going to tune, and then we'll head back in with the Voyagers. I know these people. Hey, thank you for your patience with that. The middle school band, we had a chance to tune the multi-purpose room before the concert, but we're all kind of crammed in the scene shop and didn't get a chance to tune, so we want to make a chance to do that. The first piece we're going to play for you with the combined 8th grade and high school band is The Voyagers by Pierre Laplante. It's a piece that's based on trappers and rivermen in the upper Great Lakes, mostly on the Canadian side. It's in 3 movements. The first is called En Roulant, which means the rolling along. The second movement is more gentle and sustained. It's called the Clear Spring, and it moves right into the final movement, Rendezvous. So we hope you enjoy The Voyagers. of the things that is a perk of being the director of this band ensemble is that I get to choose the music that the group plays. And a lot goes into choosing a repertoire. I try to find music that will challenge the kids, music that they'll enjoy playing, music from a wide range of styles and composers, and music that we hope you will enjoy listening to. But for this concert, I selfishly added another consideration, some music that means a lot to me. And so now the band performs Anchors Away, the Song of the Navy, and my high school fight song. Prelude Fugue in B flat is another one of the songs that I really love. I was fortunate enough to play this song when I was in school and have performed it throughout the years with my bands. What I think is really wonderful about this piece is that it was written 300 years ago, and the kids really love playing it. So we hope you'll enjoy Prelude and Fugue in B flat by J.S. Bach. Be Thou My Vision, the last piece that we're going to play with combined wind ensemble and 8 bands, is based on the Irish folk tune Slain. And I chose this piece because it was one of my mom's favorites. My mom and dad were always so supportive of me, like you are of your students, and I always think of them when we played this piece in class. So here now is Be Thou My Vision, arranged by Larry Clark. Well, thank you very, very much. We're going to get a little breather while we do some other housekeeping things here today, and we thank you for that. At this point in our concert, we're going to take a few minutes to recognize several individuals for their contributions to the Forest Hills Eastern Bands. Each spring, the band members are asked to vote for the students that they consider to be the outstanding member of each class. It's my pleasure to introduce to you, and I'd ask these individuals to please stand, our outstanding freshman, Mia Hickox, our outstanding sophomore, Bella Zolorevsky, and our outstanding junior, Devin Kozel. And now we'd like to recognize all band members who are a part of the class of 2023. These students have had quite a unique high school experience. Things started out well in the fall of 2019. Our marching show was the music of Queen. And we had no idea that our February festival concert would be the last one we were going to have for a while. When COVID hit in March of 2020, we said goodbye for a year, and students were treated to some amazing Loom videos and history lessons. The fall marching season, we saw the marching band standing in a block for our one football game performance as we played music from the Guardians of the Galaxy. After that, we had social distance band in the middle school gym on the days that we were not in hybrid. Our spring concert that year, seniors, was on the plaza outside the gym, while our audience sat in the parking lot. Junior year was a bit better as far as the pandemic was concerned, and we were able to make our trip to Florida. And finally, this year, our world returned to a sense of normalcy. Other than a minor bus accident on the way to Chicago, we had a pretty uneventful year. And although the past 4 years have presented us with some challenges, one thing that remained constant was the resilience, talent, and spirit of these kids. It's been my pleasure to have been their teacher for the past 6 or 7 years, and I'm so grateful for our time together. Seniors, as your name is called, would you please come forward, kind of line up on the white line right here, and you'll be receiving a band blanket. So our first senior today is Trenton Brink. Next is Natalie Brown. Natalie. Alec Christensen. Isaac Cole. Jonas Dobson. Arabella Dorado. Benjamin Gates. Sambhavi Gautam. Nathan Hill. Bergen Marquardt. Owen Mast. Natalie Mao. Nina Rossi. Ishan Sinha. And Andrew Vasquez. Among the seniors, we have 3 students to whom we'd like to present special awards. The Outstanding Senior Award is voted on by the band members and is given to the senior who has tremendous scholastic standing, musicianship, performing ability, and the highest personal and professional standards in all areas. This winner of the Outstanding Senior Award is Natalie Baum.
Okay, there you go.
Our next awards are national awards given to the top jazz and concert band students in high schools all across America. The Louis Armstrong Award is given in recognition of outstanding achievements in the field of jazz as demonstrated through superior musicianship, character, and individual creativity. The Louis Armstrong Jazz Award is presented to Ben Gates. The John Phillips Sousa Band Award is given in recognition of outstanding achievement and interest in instrumental music, for singular merit in loyalty and cooperation, and for displaying those high qualities of conduct that school instrumental music requires. The 2023 John Phillips Sousa Award is presented to Trenton Brink. Yeah! Please join me in thanking the seniors once again. Okay, good. All right. So if you guys want to head back, and we're going to go on to the program here. Okay? I'd like to take a moment before we proceed to thank our boosters for all of your support and help throughout the years. From the very first year that we started at Eastern in 2004, I have been blessed with just a wonderful company of parents who have stepped up to help as president, band camp, chaperone things. So I want to thank them for that. I also want to be sure to thank our principals at Forest Hills Eastern. We have such support from the administration, and I want to be sure to thank our high school principal, Mrs. Amy Pallo, and our middle school principal, Ms. Christine Yelding, for all they do to support the arts here in Forest Hills. So please join me. As most of you know, tonight's concert will be my last with the Eastern Band. And after 39 years of making music with the best kids in school, I'm retiring at the end of this year. People have been asking me, hey, why don't you just stay and make it even 40? And my reply has been something to the effect of that I didn't have a specific number of years to teach in mind. I just knew when it would be right. That got me to thinking about numbers. So I did a little research and would like to share some numbers with you. In the past 39 years, I have taught in 10 different buildings, worked for 17 different head principals, worked with 15 colleagues in music departments, taught 12 different classes, including band, choir, secondary instruments, math. They know my math. And reading, I'm better at reading, phys ed, computer lit, music theater, enhancement, drama, jazz band, and study skills, with a totaling about 9,500 students through the years. We've taken 8 trips to Disney World in Florida with the band, dozens of trips to Chicago, and 1 trip to Italy. After school hours, I worked on 84 musicals with my friends Dave, Craig, Annie, and Michael, directed pit orchestra for 67 of them, played piano for 4 of them, and had a stroke during 1 of them. So even though I didn't hit 40 years, it was a really good run. I'd also like to thank some people tonight, and I hope you'll indulge me. I know that in naming a few people, I risk omitting many other important people. But I've been blessed to work with so many wonderful people throughout the years. My music colleagues share a special place in my heart. To Bob, Michelle, Kim, Ann, Leanne, Greg, and Emily, thanks for putting up with all my quirks. You learned to navigate my crazy way of doing things and have shown me nothing but kindness and grace. I'm so fortunate to have been able to call you my friends and colleagues. And a very special thank you to my wonderful friend, Emily Blink. Emily has been a friend in the truest sense of the word, a listening ear, a fantastic teacher, and a role model for me. I've learned so much from Emily. I'm a better person and teacher because of her. Thanks, Emily, for being the best friends. And there are three very special people here tonight who I have to thank. Our daughters, Kate and Leah, flew in from New York and Washington, to be here for my final concert. And I couldn't be happier. It was so much fun having Kate and Leah in class when they were in middle and high school. I was able to share many of their school experiences with them, marching band, which they loved, musicals, concerts, and I was so glad I could be a part of those. I'm so proud of the women you've become. Kate and Leah, I love you a lot, forever. Okay. Finally, there's one person here tonight who was also at the very first concert I directed as a new teacher in 1984. My beautiful wife, Mary, has been by my side, encouraging me, supporting me, and helping me for the past 36 years. While I was away at football games, musicals, and booster meetings and concerts, Mary was at home with girls, giving them the absolute best care. She so often had to miss out on doing things with her friends because she had to take care of the girls. So the sacrifices she made for the bands at Eastern and for me have been great, and I'm so grateful. I'm so lucky to benefit from her wisdom and insight through the years. And despite dealing with illness for the past 8.5 years, Mary has been so strong, showing patience, determination, and unwavering faith. Mary, I love you so very much, and I'm so blessed to call you my wife. Finally, to my kids who have performed so beautifully here tonight, all of you 7th graders, 8th graders, and high schoolers, thank you for all you have done for the Eastern bands. You put up with my bad jokes, my fast talking, my repetitive stories, and do it with great attitude and great kindness. You work hard and put a lot into music. I'm very proud of you, and I'm grateful that you have spent time in Mr. Boelkins' House of Love. And I have a request for you tonight. Please keep making music. Make music a part of your life, be it here at Eastern next fall, in college, or later on in life, your adult life. Music has a very special power, and I hope you'll continue to cultivate it and continue to make it a part of the fabric of your life. So thank you so much. We're going to warm up a minute and close the concert with a piece the seniors have selected as their senior song, The Eighth Candle.
Did you really think that we were just going to let you walk away?
He hoped. Not gonna.
You hoped. No.
Well, Mr. Boelkins, we have a little surprise for you. But first, we would like your 3 favorite people in the world to join you here on stage. Paul and his family. You okay? You got it? You get Kleenex? Okay. Everyone, please welcome Paul's pride and joy, his family, his wife, Mary, and his daughters, Kate and Leah.
Is that how you want this, Chris? As you all know, Paul is retiring this year. He has made a huge impact in Forest Hill Public Schools, so deserves an incredible send-off.
But what is an incredible send-off without starting at the very beginning?
You ready, Jeremy? Paul was born November 1, 1962, in Muskegon, Michigan. He was the 5th child of 6 children and had a wonderful childhood. From an early age, Paul loved music. When it was time to join an ensemble in school, he chose to play the tuba in the band.
Many were impressed by his musical talent, but the thing that made Paul great was his incredible hair. There's one more. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Paul went to WMU for his undergraduate degree and landed his first job at Calvin Christian.
He directed bands there for 4 years. Paul say that it was a great first job. However, lucky for us, he made the decision to come to Forest Hills Public Schools. He started at Northern Middle School, and the students, families, and administration knew they hit the jackpot with Paul.
After a successful run of many years at Northern Middle School, he made the tough decision to leave a place he loved to become a hawk.
Paul not only inspired thousands of students in class, but he provided them with countless connections to music through real-world experiences, bringing them to Disney, Italy, Chicago, and many other trips.
Paul was active in many Forest Hills Public School musicals as pit and vocal director at both Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. He even was featured on stage a few times.
Paul Boelkins was able to sustain a fantastic band program. However, if you ask Paul, his biggest success was marrying the love of his life, Mary, and raising 2 amazing daughters. If you know Paul as a husband and father, you know he's truly the best. Almost every time, this is true, almost every time he mentions his girls' names, his eyes well up with tears.
Well, that was a very quick snapshot into the life of Mr. Boelkins and does not begin to capture his greatness.
Paul Boelkins will go down in history as one of the most influential band teachers in Forest Hills Public Schools. All you have to do is talk with a current or former student, and they will tell you that Mr. Boelkins was their favorite. The relationships that he's built with students and teachers over the years is what makes him great. In 2009, I think it was 2009, Paul was awarded Teacher of the Year. Did I get the date right? I did, yes. It's a win. Forest Hills definitely hit the nail on the head. For many students, Paul was the most important teacher they will ever have. Students know that he deeply cares for them. If you were a student of Mr. B or are currently a student, please stand and show Mr. Boelkins your gratitude.
Well, instead of listening to boring old Dave and Emily continue, we are going to let you get a deeper glimpse into Paul's world, and we have a few familiar faces to help us out.
Hi, Mr. Boelkins. It's your friend Spencer White, Director of Bands for Hastings Area Schools here. First of all, congratulations on your retirement from teaching band. You have led an exemplary career defined by commitment, compassion, kindness, humor, and sincerity. So what makes Mr. Boelkins so special? I mean, seriously, he's not going to be on the cover of Time magazine or be America's Next Top Model. Is it because he taught over 10,000 students in his 39-year-long career? Is it because he directed over 70 pit orchestras for the musical program? Is it because he brought his bands to Disney countless times he showcased? Those are all pretty special things. But for me, that's not quite it. I'll tell you what, folks. It's because he cares. Even though he has 100 things going on in his life, I know each of you can think of a time when Mr. Boelkins has talked to you and wanted to know what was going on in your life. When you're in a room filled with people and Mr. Boelkins is there, you want to be next to Mr. Boelkins. He makes you feel good. He makes you laugh. He makes you feel valued. He makes you feel worthy. You know what the real reason that makes Mr. Boelkins so special? It's because he spent his entire career, a lifetime, making everyone else around him look good. I love you very much, Paul. Congratulations on your retirement, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Congratulations, Mr. B. It's Nate. I just wanted to say congratulations on an unbelievable run as an instructor. I just hope you know that you've made a real big impact on a lot of people. And you were my longtime music teacher, and I'm doing it for a living. And I think a lot of that is because of the joy that you brought to it, the expertise, and the kindness that you brought to the classes I had with you. I'm forever a fan, and congratulations on a remarkable milestone.
very special thanks to Michael Wheaton, director at Northern Middle and High School, for creating that amazing video. Thank you, Michael.
And now we would like to present you with a few gifts. First, there were many former students and teachers who could not be here tonight. Miss Hebel has secretly been collecting pictures and letters from some important people in your past. She has graciously made you a beautiful book of these pictures and memories. Thank you, Annie.
Next, the band boosters will present a gift. I think.
Uh, 2 years ago, I showed up at a Band Boosters meeting, not knowing what Band Boosters was. I was one of just a couple people there, and suddenly I became Band Booster president. But really, it's been the easiest job I've ever had for two reasons. First, you probably noticed, like at a band camp, there's awesome decorations as kids show up, that sort of thing. I just thought that was done by secret band fairies, magic band fairies. But this year I learned that magical band fairy actually has a name, Elizabeth Brink. Could we give her a quick round of applause? I'm not sure where she is. She's in hiding the back. Okay. She's also retiring this year as magic band fairy as her son graduates. They're going to drag her out here real quick. And of course, the other reason is Paul himself. Just in the 2 years I've been president, he's managed trips to Florida, many concerts, band camps. What am I forgetting? There's something else in there too. Oh, all of the fundraisers for band boosters, right? That's all been Paul. And I really appreciate all the work that you've done for the boosters. And so, not just the boosters, but I mean, the important thing is for the kids, right? You do so much for the kids. You inspire them musically, and you help them to become great people, not just great musicians. You're a great role model, and I really appreciate you. And so the boosters are going to erect a Paul Boelkins inspired bench outside of the school. And you're always welcome to come and sit on it whenever you want to. You'll have enough time. We also have, after the show here, we have refreshments outside. We've got water, coffee, and literally 1,000 donuts. So please, I see a lot of empty seats. This place seats 1,200, so I need everyone to probably eat 2 donuts. So, but my count, that's probably maybe a tenth of what Paul has brought for kids over the years. So I think it's a small gesture. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just a minute. Okay, next. The senior gift will be presented. Sorry, go.
That's what that is. Okay. Good evening. Mr. B, you mean so much to the class of 2023. When we heard rumblings that you were thinking about retiring, we were so glad that you didn't decide to retire after last year. Take that, juniors. You gave us, seniors, an amazing one last year. From marching band, seeing us in the morning jazz band, and putting up with Sean's moves, and so much more, our high school years have been enriched because of you. When I look back on years at FHE, marching band and band camp always stand out. From empowering section leaders with our squirt guns, fun games in the field, the final water balloon fight, and Friday night pizza after our halftime shows, band brought us all together. So as seniors, we knew you'd just give us a gift of our senior blankets. Well, we're going to give you your very own band blanket. What is special about this blanket is that it's embroidered with the names of all of your halftime shows from your past years.
Mr. Boelkins, the words "thank you" does not seem adequate enough for everything you have done for me and the class of 2023. Thanks for taking a chance on me, a fifth grader in braces who wanted to be a percussionist but had studied piano for 0 years, when it's required of 2 years. But thank you so much for inspiring me and seeing something in me that allows me to do what I am doing today, and that's pursuing music. Speaking of dreamers, there are two characters who are also big dreamers. The two had big adventures together, and if you are Mr. Boelkins' age, you remember the series of Gumby and Pokey. They were early clay animation figures, and the duo would go on adventures for those who know Mr. Boelkins. He is a huge fan. Mr. Cox, hit it. So with this, we present to you, Ms. Boelkins, a massive Gumby and Pokey gift basket. The costumes are included.
As the seniors reflected on the end of our band careers here at Eastern, we realized that we also need to reflect on the end of a teacher's journey who has been here from the very beginning. You know him, you love him, you watched a video about him, the hauntingly beautiful Mr. Boelkins. There aren't strong enough words to express everything you have given to your students, Mr. B. And no, not even your impressive vocabulary words, which you make point of pointing out to us, will cut it.
You've given us music. You've given us laughter, a lot of that. You've given us a home, Mr. Boelkins' House of Love, to be specific. And you've given us an example of what a truly humble and servant-hearted person looks like. Someone so completely down to earth, without a prideful bone in their body. And all the while, we can see how utterly talented, musical, loving, and generous you are. So while this parting will be hard for both of us, I think it's best that we're thankful for the memories that we'll always have. Toast days, lucky or not so lucky prize giveaways, Superman stretch at band camp, and all the tales you told, allowing us to share in your vault of stories. We'll always cherish the time we had together. We're truly the best, Mr. Boelkins. Congratulations on your retirement.
Gift to you, we were told that you were the one to select the fight song for Forest Hills Eastern High School. Ms. Erdigan?
I represent the senior class. The jokes that we always get. For those of you who don't know, the Forest Hills Eastern fight song is borrowed from Northwestern University. Apparently, MSU fight song was already taken by Forest Hill Central. It was also my high school fight song, Go Northwestern. There you go. I have the privilege to work with Paul Shadow for the years at Forest Hills Eastern, spending a week every summer working on my late summer burn, eating countless pieces of pizza, one of those facts you did not put in, by the way, scripting and announcing football games, and I could go on for 16 years, as many years. Over those years, Paul has been my mentor, music buddy, the guy I sub for, and a dear friend. I've witnessed over and over again his absolute, unending, and steadfast dedication to music through band, the musicals, jazz band, talent and variety shows, a stint in the adult community band, and our school, and also his family. I remember sitting here as you came up. We were your host family as you entered Orchard View and the Forest Hills District as students. And was that the same time you came in? No, it had to have been later that you started. Okay, well, I was there at the very beginning. Paul, I am not the only one that you have touched. Here tonight are many to send you off into retirement. If you are a current student, please stand. If you are a Forest Hills alumni, please stand. If you were a student in Paul's other classes, please stand. If you are a parent of a student in the band, please stand. Those who work in FHE or the district, please stand. And those who've worked with, studied with, or otherwise been impacted by Paul's teaching and generosity, please stand. And will the rest of you please stand? For we have for you our final moments and comments, and then you will direct the fight song in concert for the very last time.
You're going to want to sit down for just a minute. Just a little change.
Live theater. It's all good. Last but not least, Mr. Boelkins, before we celebrate you with our fight song, we know how much you love musicals. Therefore, we didn't think your send-off would be complete without a song.
And roast.
Good night, Mr. Boelkins. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. You're going to leave us now. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. You're going to leave us now. No more tension. Hello, pension. Did we mention you're going to leave us now?
You know, trouble with retirement is you never get a day off.
I cannot wait for Mr. Boelkins to stop texting me asking for a snow day in June.
And now you can sit around all day doing nothing but not worry about getting caught. Hey, Paul, how do you know you're old enough to retire? Well, instead of lying about your age, you can now brag about it.
At my recent birthday party, someone asked me, when did I plan to retire?
I said perhaps 10 or 10:30, but tonight I'll stay up till 11.
To a real hero, Mary Boelkins. Now that Paul's retiring, you'll have twice as much husband and about half the paycheck.
How many retirees does it take to screw in a light bulb? One, but it takes a really, really, really long time.
Life is short. Smile when you still got teeth. Okay, Paul? All right.
60 might be the new 40, but 9 is the new midnight.
Good night, Mr. Boelkins. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. Good night, Mr. Boelkins. You're going to leave us now. No more tension. Hello, pension. Did we mention we're sorry to leave us now?
Don't forget to get, we're not even yet, but don't forget your donuts and drinks out in the lobby too. And, Allie?
Paul, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being you. Now, the students would like you to lead them in the FHE fight song. We can stand back up and be proud to be Hawk.
And make sure you write him a note out in the lobby also. Thank you.
Thank you is not enough. I am so blessed to spend my days with these kids, to have this beautiful family, to have so many friends who came out and was just with me tonight. Appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. That's all I have to say. Appreciate it very much. Have a great night. Have a couple donuts. Good night. Thank you, gang. Love you. See you guys.